I forget if it was on the podcast or in the mentorship, how I said I don't do like a build up for a flash sale. And you were like, dude, why are you doing the build up for the sale? Do you want to talk about that or no?
Yeah, we definitely can. So it was in a Q&A, and someone, I think it was Chris Gates. We were talking about like his timing of his next launch, and he's got a baby on the way. And so we were planning the timing and kind of how extensive the launch would be. And you mentioned a flash sale being an option. And I don't remember, someone asked I might have asked you if you build anticipation for something like that. And you said, no, a flash sale is just the day of. And I'm almost certain you had said you had one coming up, but you must have just meant a sale in general. But then I saw you building anticipation for your sale. I was like, oh, what's that about?
Yeah. So I'll start by saying, if you're like, well, what's the anticipation? I know everyone knows what anticipation means, but in relation to a launch specifically, in the mentorship we have many, 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 many courses that are long, in-depth video courses around what you can do around your business, whether it's understanding search engine optimization, whether it's understanding how to structure a sale or a launch, whether it's understanding client systems and assessments, how to write programs for your clients. We have a lot of courses. In the sales course, we discuss, one of the things we discuss is how to structure a launch for your business, whether you're launching a product, whether you're launching your online coaching program, whatever it is. And one very important component of a launch sequence is anticipation. And in order to build anticipation, essentially for a big launch, and by a big launch, I mean it's not a 24-hour sale. I mean it's usually like at least 5 to 12 days as you're going to be running this launch, trying to get people to buy for that duration of time. And there are many reasons why you would want to do that, but one of them is, on average, it takes about 12 exposures per individual for that person to decide, okay, I want to sign up for this whatever program you're running. And if you just do one launch and one email and one post, then they might literally only get one exposure. Whereas there's a very famous saying in marketing that the magic is in the follow-up. Continuing to follow up, continuing to remind them about it is an important way to get those exposures into where someone, hey, think about it. Like, let's say you send an email out or make an Instagram post about whatever it is you're launching, and you're like, all right, sign up. Well, people looking at the email or reading the Instagram post, maybe their kids are going crazy in the fucking background. Maybe they're like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna do this later. Then they just legitimately forget. Guarantee you do that all the time with certain tabs open. You'll forget about it. So a reminder is, a lot of people, especially newer people to selling, think that it's annoying. It's actually a nice little nudge, being like, hey, just in case you forgot, there's only this much time left and I'm still running this. It's still available. So the magic really is in the follow-up. But the anticipation phase, which we cover in depth in the video course, it is basically designed to, number one, let them know exactly when it's going to go live so they can put it in their calendar. But also in a more like, trying to give you more of a visual, you want the person so excited and ready to buy whatever it is you're offering, that is, they know when you're going to launch it, they know when it's coming out, they know when it's going to be available. They don't even need to read your sales copy. Sales copy becomes far less important during the launch day and launch week when you build up a really good anticipation phase, because by the time that phase is there, they're ready. Like, cool, I'm sold, I'm ready to go. Imagine you're doing research on your own about, like, you want to buy a vacuum. And you're like, you know exactly what vacuum you want. You spent hours researching the vacuum. You know which one you want. And then you go in the store, and the person that, like, hey, I'm going to buy this vacuum. I know this is the one that I want. And the person just keeps trying to sell you on that vacuum. Well, you won't believe what it offers. It's like, no, motherfucker, I know what it has. I did the research myself. I just want to give you my credit card to buy it. Well, hold on. Let me tell you more about. Shut up. Let me just buy it. Sales copy becomes far less important if you do a really good anticipation phase. And so the question was, do you build an anticipation phase for a flash sale, something that might, hey, 24 hours and done, or not? Or do you only save the anticipation phase for the longer sales? I don't think there's a definitive right or wrong for this, but for me, usually, if I'm going to do a flash sale, 24 hours and done, I probably won't do an anticipation phase. I usually rely on just like the shock value of, surprise, this is it right now. It gets the most out of striking while the iron is hot. Because if I say, hey, in a week, I'm going to have a flash sale, well, now they have the time to think about it. They have the time to, maybe I don't want this. Am I really going to use it or not? But if you just say, hey, right now, this is your opportunity, 24 hours and done, this is it. Oftentimes they're like, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to sign up. And that can be a good way to do it without the anticipation phase. Whereas if you're doing a big launch for 5 to 12 days, like a huge launch where you're selling over multiple days, having the anticipation phase, I think, becomes drastically more important, in which you really want to get them to build up the excitement so that they're essentially drooling and ready to buy from the moment that you launch it. So that is why I don't do an anticipation phase for a flash sale, but for a larger launch, I will absolutely do an anticipation phase.